This is the Leitmotif and Movement Podcast, a father and son's journey into the vast worlds of music. I am your host, Mike Ficklin, and joining me on this epic musical journey is my son,
Michael Ficklin.
This show is dedicated to the discussion of music and introducing Michael to music from the past and present. We discuss music mainly from the genres of rock, hard rock, and heavy metal. We also, from time to time, dive into film and video game scores, and we sprinkle in some surprises along the way. Michael, what have you been listening to this week?
I haven't been really listening to much. It's just mainly my big playlist and the assignment.
Haven't really listened to anything else?
Nope.
I got a chance to run through the entire discography of a band called Arch Echo. They are an instrumental progressive metal band from Nashville, Tennessee, and let me tell you, what an absolutely amazing listen. Their sound includes elements of jazz fusion and djent. It kind of reminds me a bit of Syncato and Periphery. Guitarists Adam Rafowitz and Adam Bentley are absolutely amazing. They go on some incredible runs throughout these releases, often left my mouth hanging agape. Drummer Richie Martinez is so good, showing the ability to seamlessly switch up tempo and timing. Keyboardist Joey Izzo adds additional nuance and, at times, percussiveness to the songs. He's certainly a key to helping create the lush soundscapes that the band creates. These guys are amazing, and I hear they put on an incredible live show. I'm going to have to see about checking them out at some point. Also got a chance to start digging into the discography of Atlantis Chronicles. I've listened to the first 3 releases, Against the Sea, 10 Miles Underwater, and Barton's Odyssey, from this amazing technical death metal, prog death metal band out of Paris, France. Musically, these guys are absolutely spectacular. I've come away very impressed with the complexity and technical mastery of the band. Blistering drums, crushing guitars, and blood-curdling growls. Their albums take on various nautical exploration themes. I'm really looking forward to listening to more from these guys. Also got a chance to check out the brand new record from Rivers of Nile, self-titled Rivers of Nile, and it's the 5th full-length from the technical death prog metal band out of Pennsylvania, and it does not disappoint. The band continues to show its growth despite the departure of vocalist Jake Diffenbach. Despair Church is one of my favorite tracks that Rivers of Nile has ever done. I feel like there's a bit of a post-rock influence to it musically. It has a killer outro featuring a sax. Another outstanding song on the record is Water and Time. It's perhaps the most melodic song in their catalog, featuring mostly clean vocals. There's a terrific sax solo and some ethereal synth work on that one. Moves between mellow and heavy moments with ease. I think we might need to do a full review on this one in the near future, Michael. This is my undisputed pick of the week.
High praise.
It's outstanding, dude. Last thing I got a chance to check out was the brand new record from Syncato titled Memento. Charlie Robinson's Syncato is back with another collection of incredible songs. Charlie is an amazingly talented guitarist. His music always takes interesting turns. He shows off a multitude of styles and influences across multiple genres. I always hear a bit of Latin influence in his music. You also get some djent, jazz, classical, and even some Asian flavors on this album. All of these various styles keep things interesting and evolving. They keep the listener engaged. Some favorite songs on the record include Mother of God, Ritual, and Hollow. Outstanding release. So we will move into our next segment. This is The Art of Discovery, wherein we take a listen to some unsigned bands or maybe bands that you've not heard of or deserve a little bit more love. And we've got a great collection of music for you this time around. We're going to start out with a metalcore band out of Helsinki, Finland by the name of Awaken the Fire. And this is their song, Slither. And once again, that was Awaken the Fire with their song Slither. You can purchase their music from the iTunes Store or stream their music on all popular platforms. Michael, what did you think about that?
Um, I like the instrument usage on the song
Yeah,
and vocals.
yeah, it goes hard. All right, our next song is from a melodic progressive rock band out of Long Island, New York. This is Bear or Battleship with their song Tonight is the Night. And once again, that was Bear or Battleship with their song Tonight is the Night. You can purchase their music from their Bandcamp page, bearorbattleship.bandcamp.com. Michael, what did you think about that one?
It was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely outstanding.
I like
Oh, go
I
ahead.
like their usage. I like their usage on the keyboard.
Yeah, I was
That
just
was
getting ready to
pretty
say
good.
something about that. It has a very sort of throwback 80s feel to it. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's outstanding.
Yes.
All right. Our final song on the segment is from a metalcore band out of Oslo, Norway. This is Paths with their song Oslo in July. Once again, that was Paths with their song Oslo in July. That comes from their A Cause to Revolt EP, and you can purchase their music from the iTunes Store or stream their music on all popular platforms. When you're looking for these guys, search for Paths NO to find the correct band. Michael, what did you think about that one?
They did pretty good job on this song.
That entire EP was so good, and the song Oslo in July absolutely blew me away. Michael, do you have anything else?
I just want to say thank you to all the bands that allow us to listen to the music on the show.
Absolutely. Yes, thank you very much to Awaken the Fire, Bearer Battleship, and Paths. All of the music was absolutely terrific. Thank you for letting us feature you on the show. If you would like to have your music featured on the show, feel free to shoot us an email at lightmovepod@gmail.com, or you can reach out to us on any one of our social media platforms, and we'd be happy to take a listen to your music, and if we dig what we're hearing, we'll play it on the show. All right, now it's time to get into our main topic of the episode. This time we're breaking down Coheed and Cambria's 2002 debut release, The Second Stage Turbine Blade. The Second Stage Turbine Blade is the debut studio album from the American progressive rock band Coheed and Cambria. It was originally released on March 5th, 2002 through Equal Vision Records. It is their first album, and it's part one of an overall tetralogy telling the story of the Amory Wars. The album introduces the husband and wife characters Coheed and Cambria, the characters from whom the band's name originates. The band features Claudio Sanchez on vocals and rhythm guitar, Josh Eppard on drums and piano, Michael Todd on bass and vocals, and Travis Stever on lead guitar. And originally, we weren't slated to cover this album until a little bit later this year. However, because Michael and I are going to see Coheed this week, in fact, I decided to go ahead and move this one up, call it a little bit of an audible, so that Michael had a chance to check out the band before we actually go to see them live. In addition to the release of this record, Michael, Coheed and Cambria have, and actually, it's not just to this record, but to all of their records so far, Coheed and Cambria have released a companion comic book or a novel that kind of tells the story of the album. It's pretty cool. And with that said, we're going to go ahead and get into our track-by-track breakdown. Michael, we start with track number 1. This is Second Stage Turbine Blade. What do you have on this?
This is kind of an intro track. There's no vocals, but the instruments that are playing, that they did a pretty good job with. But the song kind of seems mysterious and chilling.
Yeah, it does have that sort of a feel, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you're right, it is a short intro track. This same melody is actually heard several times in the Coheed and Cambria discography. It generally represents a shifting of scenes and or the passage of time in the story. I like the way this track is recorded. It feels kind of like an old-timey recording played on an old record player. Sounds pretty cool. Anything else on that before we move on, Michael?
Nope.
All right. So we'll move to track number 2. This is Time Consumer. And right here, Michael, I'm going to ask, do you want to go ahead and give your thoughts first, or do you want me to dig into a little bit of the story first and then you give your thoughts?
Story.
Okay. So, the story on Time Consumer. This song deals with the characters of Coheed and Cambria poisoning their 2 youngest children, Matthew and Maria. Coheed and Cambria have been convinced by the evil Mayo Dettenwolf that their kids will bring about the end of the universe. It's a really profoundly sad song. Faced with an impossible choice as parents, Coheed and Cambria choose to kill their children in the most humane way they could. And with that said, Michael, I'm going to go ahead and let you get into your thoughts on the song.
You told me it was dark, not this dark. I like how the song leads from like the previous song with the opening part. I like how it does that. I also like the drum work, but that guitar riff is just amazing. And the vocals are nice and high, meaning high note reaches, and this song is very catchy.
Yeah, Claudio kind of reminds me a bit of Geddy Lee from Rush. Very high vocal range. I love the opening to this song so much. That drum pattern is so damn good. Joined by the guitars in a sort of melancholy, haunting melody. Just musically, this is one of my favorite songs on the record. I absolutely love the guitar work from Travis Stever and Claudio Sanchez. There's a tremendous bass line from Michael Todd. There's as previously mentioned, Josh Eppard's drums are so good on this. Claudio's vocal melodies are laden with regret and melancholy. During the chorus, you can really hear the conflict and hurt as the characters take their horrible actions. It's an outstanding song, but it is very dark.
I thought it was going to be a happy conversation.
Yeah, we're going to touch more on that as we get into the album here.
I thought the Opeth record was dark.
Oh, man. I've got all kinds of new dark stuff for you, my man. Michael, anything else on this one before we move on to track 3?
Nope.
Okay. So now we move on to track number 3. This is Devil in Jersey City. From a story standpoint, this song deals with Coheed and Cambria's oldest daughter, Josephine, and her boyfriend, Patrick. They are out on a date when they are attacked by a gang of youths. Josephine is brutally raped during the attack. Michael, what are your thoughts on this song?
I like how the drum work is really attacking at the start, and that guitar riff too. This song is just all around amazing song, except for the story part. That's just dark. And this song is catchy.
The little giggle in speaking of the word Shibuti seemed strange if you don't know that Shibuti was the original name of the band.
Okay.
Musically, this is an up-tempo pop-punk song. Again, the guitar work from Travis and Claudio really stands out. Josh's drums, again, are outstanding on this. I really like the little slow bridge section around the final minute of the song. For me, this is one of the most sing-songy songs on the album.
Sing-songy songs. Oh
yes, sir.
That's too much words.
The vocal melodies throughout are hooky as hell. Claudio is absolutely on fire on this one. This is, yet again, one of those really great pop songs that has a really dark story behind it. So
I'm confused where they're coming up with this.
out of the mind and imagination of Claudio.
Claudio has a very dark mind.
He grew up loving comic books, so. Michael, do you have anything else on Devil in Jersey City before we move on?
No.
Okay. So we'll move on to track number 4. This is Everything Evil. In story, we are presented with the death of Josephine. She returns home and tearfully tells her parents what happened to her. She's killed with a hammer to the head by Coheed while she is hugging on Cambria. It's a brutal way to go.
Dang!
Right? Afterwards, Coheed and Cambria's final child arrives home. Coheed and Cambria are gone, and Claudio discovers his siblings' dead bodies. Claudio somehow is able to temporarily revive Josephine, who screams at Claudio
How?
to run.
What the magic? What?
He's got a mysterious power that he doesn't understand yet. All right, Michael, let's get your thoughts.
Family.
What's that?
I said this is the most effed up family.
Let's get your thoughts on the song.
I like the opening to the song with that guitar riff. It's just amazing. The song almost made me pick up my guitar and start trying to learn it.
Yeah, dude.
I also realized there's some different with the vocals. They added a bit of screaming parts in the song, which adds variety, which is cool.
Yeah, and just a quick comment on that. Usually when Claudio goes into the different voices, or even when Travis is contributing, usually that is Claudio playing different characters in the story.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Pretty neat little nuance that they add to the music. Musically, I like the subtle way that this song plays out in the verses. It feels to me like the kind of music you might hear play during a murder mystery investigation in a film.
It is.
Right? Then, into the chorus, the song shifts into more of a psychedelic feel, especially with the way that Claudio's vocals are done and the effects used. My favorite part of the song, though, is easily in the closing minute and 26 seconds or so. The song takes on more of an up-tempo rock feel. Claudio's vocal melody during this section is so hooky and memorable. I sing along every single time. The song finishes with the passing of time melody. It's another favorite song of mine off this one. Michael, any other thoughts on Everything Evil before we move on?
From poison to rape to murder.
Technically, they've
And then
murdered
revived.
3 of their 4 children, and it's sad. They got duped. All right, so now we move on to track number 5. This is Delirium Trigger. This song sounds like desperation and melancholy to me. In story, it deals with Coheed and Cambria dealing with the aftermath of what they've done. In addition, they find out that they've been lied to and manipulated into murdering their children. It turns out that the vile Wilhelm Ryan wants to use the dormant Monstar virus within Coheed to destroy the Keywork, which is a magic that's kind of holding all of these planets together. Coheed and Cambria are turned against each other as their dormant, monstrous forms are unleashed. Michael, what do you have on this?
Okay. This opener to the song is amazing and different. I also like the vocals on this song. There are some really nice high notes hit on the song. And I like the ending to the song because it's nice and eventful.
Yeah, musically, this song absolutely rocks. The guitar riff on this song kicks so much ass. Again, Josh Eppard absolutely kills it on the drums. You can hear the pain and misery coming through in Claudio's vocal delivery. It's a darkly beautiful song.
Darkly beautiful song.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What did I sign up for?
You signed up for the first part in a great science fiction adventure. Having a hard time with it, aren't you?
I'm just lost.
Makes more sense when you can read the whole story. I'll have to share it with you. Let you read the comics.
Alright.
anything else on Delirium Trigger?
No.
All right. So we're going to move on to track number 6. This is Hearshot Kid Disaster. From a story perspective, to me, it's kind of unclear what is actually happening story-wise. I believe that it could be about Mayo Dettenwolf releasing the Fireflies that trigger the Monstar virus in Coheed, thus triggering the cataclysmic events that Wilhelm Ryan wanted done, but I'm not sure. Michael, what do you have on this?
All I heard was gibberish when you were explaining that. The song has a different opening, but this song is catchy, and the drum and guitar riff is amazing too.
Yeah, that guitar riff is just funky.
Funky.
Yes, sir. I really like the funky beginning to the track. And then it goes into the song proper. It's another hooky, poppy song that begs you to dance. We get a bit crunchier and heavier in the chorus. Josh Shepard just kills it on the drums again on this one. The vocal melody through the verses and chorus are memorable and hooky. Yeah, I love the song. Good song. Michael, any other thoughts on Hearshot Kid Disaster?
No.
Okay. So from there, we move on to track number 7. This is 33. From a story perspective, this is about Josephine's boyfriend, Patrick, getting caught by Wilhelm Ryan's monstrous Constantine priests. Michael, what do you have on this one?
What did you say?
So the Constantine priests are kind of zombie servants of the main villain of the story. And they are after Patrick.
How are they after Patrick? What'd Patrick do?
I think, if I remember right, and it's been a while since I read the story, but I think if I remember right, they're after Patrick because they think he might know where Claudio has disappeared to.
Alright, this song is very fast on the guitar riff, and I like the drum work and vocal work on this song.
Yeah, this goes really up tempo. It kind of has a sort of pop punk vibe going on. Again, I'm going to compliment Josh Shepard on his drum work. He's just outstanding. Lyrically, this is another really dark song, but the way that Claudio sings makes it feel upbeat. There's a lot of fun guitar work on this song from Claudio and Travis. A really good driving bass line from Michael Todd. This is another of my favorite songs on the record. Michael, what else do you have on 33?
Nothing.
All right. So we'll move on to track number 8. This is June Song Provision. From a story perspective, this song is like a goodbye love letter from Claudio to his girlfriend Nuo Iken. Claudio is running and trying to get off planet to get away from Mayo Dettenwolf. Michael, what do you have on this one?
I like the real gritty guitar work on this song. Also like the vocals. Oh, and the vocals seemed in the distance on this song too.
Yeah, there are times when it kind of feels like they're kind of moved to the back of the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Musically, this is definitely one of the most interesting songs on the record. There's a lot of interesting musical changes on this one. My hat is off to Josh Shepard on this with the number of changes that happen. It's a very complex song. I really enjoy the final minute and a half or so of this song. There's multiple vocal harmonies happening. Rhythmically, the music feels very complex, but still has such a great hook. Great way to close the song out. Michael, what else do you have on June Song Provision?
Nothing.
Okay. So we'll move on to track number 9. This is Never Ender. From a story perspective, this appears to be about Claudio and his travels, time spent on the run. He's made it to another planet, and he's doing his best to dodge soldiers and the Constantine priests. He's trying to bury his past and separate himself from his family in Nuo in hopes of being able to make it through. Michael, what do you have on this one?
I really like the riff on this song, guitar riff on this song. Also like the vocals, they're just amazing. I love the drum work and the high notes hit on this song.
Yeah, musically, this is another fun and interesting song. The main guitar riff through the verses has a solid driving rock hook to it. Claudio's vocals are tinged with sadness and a bit of regret. This is the bluesiest song on the record by far. There's some really solid bass work on this as well. It's a great song and sets an appropriate melancholy mood. Michael, what else do you have on Neverender?
Nothing.
By the way, I really like the title of this song. I just think it sounds cool.
I thought it said Never Surrender.
No. In fact, the band would later on adopt the name of this song for the name of a series of concerts that they play, where they will play like 4 or 5 albums from start to finish over the course of a couple of nights. All right, so now we're going to move on to track number 10. This is Godsend Conspirator. From the story perspective, here we go with another disturbingly dark lyrical theme that is set to a more up-tempo song. Regarding the story, this song deals with Claudio's uncle Jesse, Coheed's brother, watching his lover Mariah getting caught by Mayo Dettenwolf and ultimately killed. Mariah was the leader of a rebellion against Wilhelm Ryan. Michael, what do you got on this one?
What the I like how creative this riff is on the song. I love it. Also love the drum work on the song. And the vocals, they all fit together so well on the song.
Yeah, there's some excellent bass work on this song too. The main guitar riff feels kind of light in tone. Maybe like something you'd hear in like a 90s teenage comedy. However, the music in the chorus is darker and more sinister. Again, there are several interesting changes in this one. The closing section of this is definitely my favorite part of the song. There's such a sense of melancholy in Claudio's vocals. There's even a multi-part vocal harmony here. I really dig the guitar work in the closing section as well. As the song fades out, we hear the familiar passage of time, changing of scene melody. Michael, what else do you have on Godsend Conspirator?
This song's probably my favorite, just mainly because of that guitar riff. It's just amazing.
Man, you must love them stories about bad stuff happening to good people.
Oh my! I didn't even say anything about the story. Everything in this album is dark.
Right? It's super dark. But it's set to this really happy, poppy music.
Oh, trying to remember record. This is starting to remind me of Opeth again.
Just from the lyrical perspective?
No, from the story perspective.
Well, right, yeah. So from here, we get a little bit of a delay, and then we get into the hidden final track on the record. This is iRobot. From the storyline perspective, this song seems to be a lament from Jesse. He's being sentimental and reflecting on the losses of Coheed, Cambria, and Mariah. The rebellion has been defeated and scattered. The iRobots are creations of Jesse and Mariah. Jesse has never really had much affection for them. In fact, he destroys the defective ones. This song seems to be hinting that Jesse is starting to warm up to his creations. He's still got some fight left in him. Michael, what do you have on this one?
I like the riff and drum work and the vocals on this song. I like this song. It's a pretty good bonus track.
Musically, this is done primarily as an acoustic song, no drums. So I don't know what you're talking about as far as drum work.
I swear there's drum work.
There is the addition of a synth and keyboards, but no drums.
I swear there's drums.
Not on this.
Then my notes lied.
During the chorus, there's this very 80s sounding computer synth effect. Claudio's vocals are delivered in this almost falsetto, definitely a higher pitch than usual. It's a song drenched in sadness and melancholy, but also perhaps a bit of hope. Definitely an interesting way to close the album out.
We go from murder, rape, more murder, reviving, turning, murder, to happiness.
Well, not so much happiness, just a little bit of hope. And the revival is only temporary.
Well, that was basically the whole entire story of that one song. This is a revival.
Okay, Michael, we have reached the end of the album. It's time to get your final thoughts and your ranking out of 5.
Probably the darkest album I've ever listened to. I like I like the vocals. I like the high notes hit on this album. I like the instrumental work done on this song. I'm gonna have to give this a 5 out of 5.
So you're giving it a 5 out of 5, which surprises me, considering your reactions to the storyline, how dark it is.
I'm not gonna make the storyline take it down.
You're judging this purely from a musical perspective.
Yes.
I think you told me that this wound up on your big playlist. You liked this album so well, right?
Yes. Yes. Before I knew about the story.
For me, Coheed and Cambria have a gift for writing these amazing pop rock songs with sad and depressing lyrics. Claudio delivers vocal lines with a sort of upbeat joy at times, and when you pay attention to what he's saying, it's like, whoa, this is dark. Despite the fact that these songs do have a pop rock feel, there is a significant complexity to them. Claudio and Travis work incredibly well together on the guitar work. There's definitely a lot of nuance to what they do. For me, drummer Josh Eppert just slays on this record. He's one of the best parts of it. His ability to transition so seamlessly to different timing and tempos mid-song is simply amazing. The mix on his drums sounds stellar. He really is the backbone of the band on this album. I also should point out that the bass work from Michael Todd on the album is very good as well. At times, it's absolutely stellar. Admittedly, I do think Claudio's vocals take some time to get used to. I equate them to Geddy Lee of Rush, like I said earlier. I find that the same folks that dislike Geddy Lee also tend to dislike Claudio. That said, I feel like Claudio does a terrific job with the vocals on this album. I really like it when he uses these multi-layered, multi-part vocal harmonies. Often he uses different tones or vocal styles to portray the various characters in the story. I appreciate the theatricality to that. Speaking of the story, what a heartbreaker. There are several outright shocking and horrific moments. It's a very dark start to Claudio the character's story. losing his siblings and his parents, having to leave his life behind and live on the run. On the whole, I love this record. This was actually the second Coheed and Cambria record I ever heard. Their follow-up to this one, In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth 3, was actually the first one I heard. I was blown away with the complexity on this record, though, especially with it being the band's first full length. There are some outstanding songs on this that help it continue to hold up as one of the band's best. It gets a 4.5 out of 5 for me.
What got taken away that was 0.5?
There's some pieces of the music that are kind of hit or miss for me. Some of the darkness in the songs kind of weighs on me a bit, so I docked it just a half a point.
Shame.
All right, so that'll take us to our question for the audience. What is your favorite track on the second stage Turbine Blade, and why? All right, Michael, it's time to move on to our next segment. This is Can't Wait. New music coming soon. I'm not even going to ask.
I think of one. Didn't that one band that we shall not be should not be named finish their fourth studio album finally?
It's done. They just have not announced the title of it or a release date yet.
That's on my list. I mean, it's kind of announced. They just haven't announced the name and date.
They're going to work out the songs live and see how they go over. So, it's too bad we don't live in Australia.
Australia?
For me, there's several albums coming out here over the next couple of weeks that I'm looking forward to. On June 6th, Catatonia releases Nightmares as extensions of the Waking State. And My Chemical Romance is doing a deluxe re-release of 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, which is probably my favorite of their records. Then on June 13th, we got a trio of records coming out that I'm looking forward to. First one is from a band called, I believe it's pronounced Avkurvist, but I am not 100% positive on that. Their new record, Waving at the Sky, is coming. Also on June 13th, the new Fallujah record, Xenotaph, is coming. And then Metallica is doing a deluxe remastered edition of Load that I'm looking forward to checking out. And then recently announced, I heard that on July 11th, Born of Osiris is putting out their new album, Through Shadows. On August 29th, ELO is releasing their new record, Legacy. And on September 26th, Amorphous is releasing their new record, Borderland. So lots of good music on the horizon. So now we will move on to our listener feedback segment. And we did get a couple of pieces of feedback, Michael. I know you always enjoy this stuff.
I do.
So regarding our episode 22, which was on Soundgarden Super Unknown, Caustic Wave says, many thanks for featuring the upcoming new single Quicksand on the Art of Discovery segment. I've been featured on the podcast twice, and both times the main album featured has been one of my favorites. Last time it was Seven Dust Seasons, and this time it's one of the greatest albums ever, Soundgarden Super Unknown. My favorite tracks from this one are The Day I Tried to Live and Fell on Black Days. Both are outstanding songs. You can't go wrong with either of them.
And albums.
Excellent album.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got a response on Facebook from Frank McDonald. He says, there was a quote from somebody I read recently. might have been Dave Grohl saying that Chris Cornell let Nirvana hear some of the demos for Super Unknown and they were blown away. Not only because of the songwriting, but because they'd perfectly mixed the Beatles and Black Sabbath. I'd never thought of Super Unknown like that, but it's so true. I thought that was a really cool story, and he linked us to the actual video, so if you have a chance, Michael, you got to check it out. We also got a response to our bonus episode number 5, which was about the new Bragging Rights record. Bragging Rights says, just finished the review now, and I really can't thank you guys enough. Really, really kind words, and gave me a lift in my step for the week ahead. Thank you again. Thank you. We really appreciated the opportunity to get to check out the record early, and we really enjoyed the record, so thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right, Michael, anything else before we move on? Okay. So now we'll move on to our final segment. This is Michael's journey discovering a song from the past. And this time, we're going to get Michael's thoughts on the Commodores' Easy. Easy comes from the Commodores' 5th studio album titled Commodores. In 1977, it was released on the Motown label. Group member Lionel Richie wrote Easy with the intention of it becoming another crossover hit for the group, given the success of a previous single, Just to Be Close to You, which spent 2 weeks at number 1 on the U.S. Billboard Hot Singles chart, and peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1977. Easy reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot Soul Singles chart for a single week on July 16th, and number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. The success of Easy paved the way for similar Richie-composed hit ballads, such as 3 Times a Lady and Still, and also for Richie's later solo hits. Easy was certified gold in Denmark, also gold in Italy, and platinum in the United Kingdom. And with that said, Michael, let's go ahead and get your thoughts on this song.
I like the piano work on this song. Also, the vocals and the drums, they all work very well. And I also like the backup vocals. It makes sense why this song is a classic.
I don't remember when the first time it was that I heard this song. I just remember liking it from the get-go. There's something warm and comforting about it. I really enjoy the piano work on this so much. There's also some brass and strings that help set the mood. Lionel Richie absolutely kills it on the vocals. He's got such a smooth voice. The song is a ballad discussing a man expressing relief after a breakup. Rather than be depressed, he's just laid back and chilled, not letting it get to him. Around the halfway point, there's the very distinctive sound of an electric guitar slide. Almost feels like it's out of place here. It's probably my least favorite part of the song, but it doesn't detract from my overall enjoyment of it. It's an absolutely outstanding song. Michael, let's get your rating out of 5 on this one.
It makes sense why this song's a classic. I'm gonna have to give this a 5 out of 5.
Perfect scores all around from Michael on this episode. All right, Michael, so up next on your journey, we are going to talk about Crowded Houses, Don't Dream It's Over. And for our main topic, we'll be discussing Skid Row's 1989 debut release, Skid Row. Michael, I think you're going to like this.
Is it another dark lyrics one?
No, sir. I think you're going to really like this one a lot.
All right, I'm trusting you.
All right. With that said, we want to hear from you. We will read your emails and messages on the show. We have only one request. Keep them clean. There are several ways to contact us. You can email us at lightmovepod@gmail.com. You can also reach us on several social media platforms: Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads. Details on how to connect with us are in the show notes. We are part of the SPDM Crew Podcast Network. Check out all of the podcasts on the network by visiting spdmcrew.com.
If you like the show, subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform and share with your friends and family. We are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and a variety of other platforms. We are also on YouTube. Can't find us on your chosen platform? Shoot us a message and let us know. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This helps us be found in the algorithm. Make them good and we'll read them on the air. Are you in a band and you'd like for us to check you out and possibly drop a recommendation on the show? Shoot us a message. We'd love to check you out and give you a shout.
We'd like to thank you very much for listening to the Leitmotif and Movement Podcast.
Take care and enjoy music.